Imagine your terminal having the brains of Google's Gemini. No more memorizing complex Nmap flags or looking up Nikto syntax. With the new Gemini CLI, you just describe your security goal in plain English, and the AI orchestrates the tools, analyzes the output, and even writes the report for you. Today, we are installing Gemini CLI on Kali Linux and putting it to the test against real CTF challenges to see if it's actually useful or just a gimmick. Getting this running on Kali Linux is actually surprisingly standard. It is just a simple sudo apt install command. It checks your repositories, pulls the package, and installs it just like any other tool. Once you launch it, you have 3 ways to authenticate. If you are a developer, you can mess with API keys, but for most of us, the login with Google option is the fastest way to get started. It just pops a browser window, you sign in, and you are live. Before we start throwing packets at targets, let's see how it handles basic interaction. It functions just like the Gemini chatbot you know. I asked for a quote on AI, and it responded instantly. But here is the real power. It has the capability to look for the latest information from the web. Unlike a static offline script, I can ask it current events, like who the US president is, and it fetches the answer using its built-in search tools. It also doubles as a mentor. If you are stuck on a concept, you can ask it anything about pen testing. I asked for the difference between XSS and CSRF, and it didn't just give a definition. It gave me a clear, formatted comparison directly in the terminal. This can be very handy in real-life engagements where we want a quick lookup to understand some concept. Now, let's see the Gemini CLI in action. Let's start with a classic reconnaissance workflow. I'm telling it to scan a test vulnerability site. Notice I'm not typing commands. I'm just telling it to find open ports, fingerprint the server, and specifically look for SQL injection. Now, look at this. It doesn't just go rogue. It pauses and asks for permission before running the Nmap scan. It shows you the exact command it's about to run, which is great for learning. It runs the scan, finds port 80 is open, and identifies the Nginx server. But it doesn't stop there. Because I asked for vulnerabilities, it automatically decides to run Nikto next to dig deeper. It then uses curl to scrape the page and also runs SQLMap to test for SQL injection endpoints. It actually exploited the SQL injection on the target and started dumping tables right there in the terminal. Similarly, it tested different payloads for XSS and found some vulnerable endpoints. After the scans are done, it compiled everything into a JSON report for me. It found the SQL injection points and flagged missing security headers, like X-frame options. It basically did the complete pen test in about 7 to 8 minutes, so it can be used to automate the complete pen test process. Recon is one thing, but let's look at a real CTF scenario. I targeted the SQLMap room on TryHackMe. I simply gave Gemini the target IP and told it to start the pen test. It immediately fired up Nmap, identifying an Nginx web server on port 80. It didn't stop at just open ports. It automatically recognized it needed to find hidden paths and launched GoBuster. Here, you can see it discovered a hidden directory called /blood that I wouldn't have found otherwise. Once it found the directory, it identified a search page at nlsearch.php. It realized the blood group parameter looked vulnerable and automatically switched to SQLMap to test for injection. It successfully confirmed the injection, listed the tables, and dumped the flag table. And there it is. It extracted the final flag completely from the terminal. The tool chained Nmap, GoBuster, and SQLMap together for a full kill chain. So, is Gemini CLI a replacement for a skilled pentester? No. As we saw, it still gets stuck and needs a human to guide it when things get tricky. It also has safety rails that prevent it from doing the final exploitation step in some cases. For automating routine recon and having a second pair of eyes on your code, it is incredibly powerful. I'm definitely keeping this installed on my CLI machine. If you want to see me test more AI hacking tools, hit that subscribe button. Happy hacking!